Imagine a lush, isolated mountain valley with plenty of fresh grass. Among the deer and rabbits lived three billy goat brothers. They were distinct in their physical traits, one small and quick, one medium and calculated, and one massive and heavily muscled. Despite their differences in size, they operated on a simple survival philosophy. They believed that as long as they moved, ate, and lived closely together as a single unit, no predator could harm them. That peace ended when a severe summer drought scorched the valley. In weeks, the rich green pastures dried up, leaving nothing but dead earth. The lack of food triggered a mass exodus. The cows, sheep, and rabbits abandoned the territory to find sustenance, leaving the three brothers starving and isolated in the barren landscape. Their philosophy of moving as a tight-knit unit had kept them safe from minor threats, but in a famine, staying together in one place would lead to starvation. They had to migrate. Survival lay across the river, where a distant patch of land still held fresh, sunlit grass. But reaching that sanctuary required crossing a fatal choke point. The only path over the water was a narrow wooden bridge, guarded by a massive, aggressive troll. The brothers were cornered by a brutal dilemma. They could stay in the dead valley and starve, or they could charge the bridge in a high-risk confrontation with an apex predator. Realizing a physical assault would fail, the brothers huddled to refine their approach. They needed a calculated, psychological strategy. They targeted the troll's primary vulnerability, predatory greed. If they could turn his appetite against his own security, they could manipulate him into giving up the bridge. By treating the troll's appetite as a weapon, the brothers converted the bridge from a physical battlefield into a mental trap. Phase 1 initiated with Little Gruff. He stepped onto the wood and projected physical weakness, presenting himself as a tiny, unsatisfying snack to diminish his value as prey. When the troll threatened to eat him, Little Gruff offered his own life, but immediately promised that a larger, tastier middle brother was right behind him. The troll rapidly calculated his options. His greed overrode his immediate hunting instinct, and he voluntarily let a guaranteed meal walk safely to the other side. Phase 2 begins as Middle Gruff enters the choke point, ready to capitalize on the troll's expectation, facing the exact same threat. Middle Gruff used the same manipulation. He leveraged the troll's newly confirmed greed to promise a third massive ultimate feast if the troll would just wait a little longer. Once again, the troll let his prey pass. By the end of this second phase, the predator's perceived position of absolute power had been neutralized by his own escalating expectations. Then came Phase 3. Big Gruff stepped onto the bridge. The wood visibly shook under his weight, and he abandoned all pretense of weakness. The troll rushed out to claim his promised prize. Blinded by the anticipation of a massive feast, he was entirely unprepared for any actual resistance. Big Gruff leveraged his size and momentum to aggressively ram the overconfident predator. The impact threw the troll violently off the bridge and down into the rushing river. The choke point threat was permanently eliminated. That final application of brute force succeeded because the psychological trap had already dismantled the enemy's defenses. The troll never saw the fight coming until it was too late. With the path clear, the three brothers successfully reunited in the pastures across the river, their starvation crisis averted. They had validated their core philosophy by layering their individual strengths, speed, calculation, and raw power, into a single coordinated sequence. Survival in the face of a superior predator requires more than the courage to stand your ground. It requires the coordination to turn an opponent's own instincts against them.